The news at 9. First, the highlights. Lagos State government urges young entrepreneurs to take advantage of Employment Trust Fund, other initiatives. National Agricultural Development Fund restates commitment to revolutionizing Nigeria's agri sector. On the foreign scene, court charges South Korea's impeached President Yoon Yeol with insurrection over martial law attempt. And in sports, Nigeria striker Akko Adams arrives Sevilla for £5.5 million switch. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State government has called on young entrepreneurs to take advantage of the funding support provided by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, and other initiatives by applying for loans and grants to boost their trade. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotosho, who made the call, noted that many startups have become stable and profitable through support from LSETF and other agencies of the Lagos State government that provide financial support to growing business entities. Omotosho assured residents that the dividends of democracy will trickle down to the grassroots as the Sanwo-Olu administration continues to unveil new projects across local government and local council development areas. He stated that Lagos will continue to explore initiatives in tourism to boost revenue, attract foreign exchange, and position Lagos as a truly competitive global destination. According to him, the new Mercy Street Children's Hospital project has reached an advanced stage and will be the biggest pediatric facility in West Africa, while projecting that the facility will be set for commissioning later this year. The commissioner mentioned that other projects in the health sector, such as the 208-bed Children's Hospital in Ojo, the Psychiatric Hospital in Ketu-Ejiri, as well as infrastructure upgrades at Ibejuleki and Lagos General Hospitals, will also expand resources available to residents for top-notch medical services. Lagos State government says the full enforcement of removal of stalls and shanties under Akpongpong Bridge and on the setback of Savage, Elegbata, Bombata drainage channel on Lagos Island will commence on Tuesday following the expiration of the 48 hours quit notice issued last week. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, made this known while speaking with newsmen at Ebuteru after an inspection tour to Oluogbowo/Akpongpong axis in Lagos Island. Wahab said the government will remove all the shanties impeding drainage channels in the best interest of all residents. He explained that the state officials repeated the tour to ascertain the level of compliance by stall owners and operators operating on drainage channels and setbacks with a quit notice issued to them. He recalled that last week, during an inspection tour, it was observed that the setback of these two critical drainage collectors, which are Bombata, Olusi, and Alagbafo collectors, have been converted into shops and stores, thereby causing the total blockage of the collectors. As part of efforts to provide quality education in the state, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, through the Lagos State Examinations Board, has announced the commencement of registration for the year 2025 Universal Basic Education by Continuous Assessment course UBE by CAS and placement test from Monday, January 27 to Friday, April 2025. Director, Lagos State Examinations Board, Adebayo Orunsolu, said that only primary 6 pupils in public and approved private primary schools in the state are eligible to participate in the UBE by CAS and placement test, noting that registration is free for public primary schools, while pupils of approved private primary schools are expected to pay the sum of 5,000 naira per candidate through the Lagos State Central Billing System, CBS. Orunsolu also informed parents guardians, head teachers, proprietors and proprietresses of primary school pupils transiting into junior secondary schools about the approval of Yoruba language as one of the subjects for testing the knowledge and thinking ability of pupils sitting for the placement test by CAS in the state. He enjoined authorities of public and approved private primary schools in the state to take note of the date and ensure that parents and guardians are duly informed. Now to the rest of the stories. The National Agricultural Development Fund, NADF, has reaffirmed its commitment to revolutionizing Nigeria's agricultural sector, positioning it as a cornerstone of economic and social development. NADF Executive Secretary Mohammed Ibrahim says it is committed to transforming the agricultural landscape in Nigeria. Ibrahim said this during the 32nd convocation ceremony at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Ogun State. He highlighted NADF's swift response to a devastating epidemic in Nigeria's ginger growing belt, which destroyed 80% of the region's produce. In addressing systemic challenges, Ibrahim underscored the importance of the locally relevant, demand-driven research. He announced the completion of a needs assessment of agricultural research institutes and federal colleges of agriculture designed to identify commercially viable projects that could attract private funding. Ibrahim called on the graduates to see themselves as more than farmers, but as nation builders tasked with unlocking agriculture's transformative potential for the country. Cross River State Governor Bassi Otu has approved the immediate dissolution of the current governing council of the University of Cross River State. Consequent to the dissolution, the governor has approved the appointment of Francisca Bassi as the new acting vice-chancellor. The governor's chief press secretary, Nsa Gil, in a statement says Fidelis Ugbo was also appointed as the pro-chancellor of the university. The statement reaffirms the government's commitment to the welfare and well-being of students and staff, as well as high standards in teaching and learning in the university. And now to foreign news. South Korea's impeached President Yoon Yeol has been charged with insurrection after he attempted to declare martial law in December. Yeol's ill-fated attempt to impose military rule plunged the country into an unprecedented political crisis, and he becomes the first sitting president in South Korean history to be charged with a crime. The indictment comes after a court in Seoul rejected a request to extend Yoon's detention, which meant prosecutors had to make a decision on whether to charge or release him before Monday. A spokesman from the main opposition Democratic Party, Han Min-soo, said the punishment of the ringleader of insurrection now begins finally. Separately, the Constitutional Court has begun deliberations on whether to formally dismiss Yoon as president or reinstate him. The impeached president has largely refused to cooperate with the criminal investigation over the martial law declaration. Yoon is set to stand trial along with his former defense minister and senior military commanders who are accused of helping him plan and carry out the attempt to seize total power. In our sports, Nigerian striker Akor Adams is set to complete his transfer to Spanish side Sevilla from Montpellier after arriving in Spain for a move worth £5.5 million. The 24-year-old has endured a difficult season at Montpellier, managing just 3 goals and 1 assist in over a dozen appearances, with a significant drop from his impressive debut campaign when he netted 7 times in the French league. Report says his arrival at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium could further limit fellow Nigerian Kelechi Iheanacho's playing time with a former Leicester City striker yet to feature for the side in over a month. The Spanish outfit will hope Adams can rediscover his scoring touch to help improve the club's fortunes in the second half of the season. And that's all for the news at 9. Always obey road signs and traffic lights. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. On X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, on YouTube Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio.com. 961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration strengthened alliance with 200 representatives from various women-focused NGOs in the state as part of efforts to alleviate the economic plight of women residents in the state? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has called on young entrepreneurs to take advantage of the funding support provided by the Lagos State Government, by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, and other initiatives by applying for loans and grants to boost their trade. The National Agriculture Development Fund, NADF, has reaffirmed its commitment to revolutionizing Nigeria's agricultural sector, positioning it as a cornerstone of economic and social development. We also told you that South Korea's impeached President Yoon Yeol has been charged with insurrection after he attempted to declare martial law in December. And in sports, Nigerian striker Akol Adams is set to complete his transfer to Spanish side Sevilla from Montpellier after arriving in Spain for a move worth £5.5 million. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Mojid Ololade. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good evening.